and welcome to Green Angle. I am Esther Mokwariola. In this week's edition of the program, we take a look at the actions of a climate change activist in reducing plastic pollution while also promoting environmental hygiene. This and more coming up after some news updates.
Representatives from the National Security Advisor's Office and the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited are in Bukuma community in Degema local government area. Vandals have struck again at this popular destination for illegal oil bunkering and artisanal refining of crude. The allegedly vandalized oil well 8 operated by the NNPCL to siphon crude, leading to a leak. But it was not until a few days ago that fire erupted from the scene and has been burning since then. This incident reignites the argument about who has greater responsibility to prevent acts of sabotage like this. Is it the community members or security agencies?
I want to assure the community that in the next few days, the flame you're seeing behind us will be put off and the community will be quickly be clean. Having said that, we want to advise the community that should know that their actions and inactions have consequences. That they can no longer sit down and watch these criminals to come into their community, destroy the environment and sabotage the Nigerian economy.
The government wants residents to show more vigilance, even though some accusing fingers are pointing in the direction of the military and blaming the incident on a recent anti-crude oil theft operation.
Assuming but not conceding that you said it's not the effort. What brought the effort? It's because of the illegal activities here. So the issue is not about throwing blames. It's for we to solve the problem, to ensure that it does not repeat itself.
For the affected people, what they want to see is the fire and leak brought under control to prevent further damage to the environment, their health, and their livelihood.
The oil don't spoil everything. See am, no fish since morning. See the oil everywhere. Our inside they don't die finish. Nothing with the sick people. Now hunger, our children they go school.
Some of the boats and products intercepted were destroyed as security personnel pursue leads to apprehend all those believed to be responsible.
The inspection began with a stop at the ongoing waterworks project, where officials assessed the work being done to meet the city's daily water demand. The project, set to pump 70 million gallons of water per day, will serve multiple communities and significantly boost the city's water supply.
These are the 270 million gallons, and then we have Iju and Adio 1, and then the chassis. And then we have the micro and mini water works that have been taken over by USAID and Water Aid. Majority of Lagos houses and homes will have pipe-borne water, and that's the target. If we put this together with what we have on ground, 70 million, Adion 1 will give you 11 million, the Jew is about 4 or 5 million, chassis will give you 5 million. And then the mini and micro water, we are looking at 100 million gallons a day. So if we push that out constantly, we have solved our water problem to a large extent as in Lagos.
The project, which also involves ongoing laying of an 8.1-kilometer pipeline network, is expected to be completed in 36 months.
1,600 mm thick pipe for 8.1 kilometers, and it's an ongoing project. We're looking at sometime in 2027, because we have to revise their calendarized work plan. So by the last quarter of 2027, everything being equal.
The development, alongside other existing water facilities, is expected to address the long-standing issue of water scarcity in Lagos communities. Public officials, environmental advocates, thought leaders and young climate activists gathered at this annual event aimed at inspiring collective action to protect and preserve the environment. Delivering the keynote address on the theme Greening Africa's Economies, Professor Yemi Oshibajo highlighted Africa's potential to lead the global green revolution through its abundant renewable energy resources.
And thanks to Africa's abundance of high-quality, untapped renewable energy, our young entrepreneurial workforce, and our relevant natural assets and resources, we have the key ingredients to be a major climate action powerhouse. And by pursuing an industrialization pathway using renewable energy, of which we have 60% of the world's potential, we can actually develop the first green industrial civilization.
Other speakers at the event stressed the importance of shared responsibility in building a sustainable future for the next generation, despite the continent's numerous challenges.
People that know better, Lagosians, conniving with some other individuals, chose to obliterate the path of the natural stream, and water must always find its level. Hence, our decision to be very firm and decisive when it comes to protecting this ecosystem.
Because it's now been certified that climate change and environmental degradation is the biggest issue humanity has ever faced, and Nigeria and southern African countries are actually very vulnerable. So we need to key in. We have to key in if we want to survive and leave a better place for our children.
Apart from the plans that we have, we will need strong governance structure that will be able to ensure that whatever actions or activities we want to implement will be implemented. If we don't have strong governance, then whatever we are doing will just will wash down the drain.
The discussions and ideas shared at this event are expected to influence policies and foster the collaboration needed for Africa's sustainable development.
The solution to climate issues in Nigeria, and also to be able to make sure that our environment is more sustainable. And we see increase in open defecation, and the people that actually need toilet most are women and girls and youth, and that's why we are trying to invest in this project to make sure that we solve that problem.
Meet Olumide, a climate change activist and co-founder of the International Climate Change Development Initiative.
A couple of years back, we had a project in Bariga, Shomolu, and it's focusing on open defecation. And one of the outcomes we were supposed to get was to have a provision for toilets for the community people. But unfortunately, we couldn't do that because of some political issues, and we decided to say, fine, let us redesign the outcome of this project in a way whereby we can kill two birds with one stone. So we decided to come up with the bottle toilet project. And what influenced that was because the urgency of the plastic waste that we see everywhere in the country now, both in the ocean, in the gutter, and everywhere. So we decided to come up with an innovative idea, which is not new in Africa, but something that we can also use to improve the life of the people. So we are using it to take plastic back from the ocean, and also to end open defecation across Nigeria.
Through his foundation, he's working to turn the tide on plastic pollution and promote cleaner, healthier environments, especially in low-income communities.
Yes, we've been able to implement one with the support of a partner which is presently in Lagos, in Ilasa Maja. And the success of this project is that we've been able to increase the number of students that come to school now. Because there's no toilet, that's one of the outcomes. And we also see that we've been able to stop open defecation in some level, because they said the students have to go out from school, and some of them say they will go home to go and use the toilet. Then you don't see them coming back to school again. So we've been able to solve that problem.
To bring this vision to life, the foundation has set an ambitious target, collecting 500,000 plastic bottles from local communities. These bottles will be transformed into sustainable infrastructure, all part of a larger campaign to reduce single-use plastics and fight pollution.
The issue of plastic, because we generated plastic from offices, from the partners that supported us, we also used the opportunity to say We are taking plastic back from the ocean, the ones that are supposed to go into the drainage system. We've been able to take them back. And the one we did in Lagos, we used close to 15,000 to 16,000 PET bottles to develop this bottle toilet project. What we are just trying to do is to create a climate smart culture for people to understand that there's innovative solution that can limit the emission that we produce every day.
This project is just the beginning. Olumide's foundation plans to extend this initiative to other states across Nigeria, bringing their fight against plastic pollution to communities.
We've been able to see it in different countries, and I think somebody have also done that in the northern part of Nigeria. And for a couple of years, it's still existing. But for us, some days ago, we've been able to visit the one we did in Elasamaja. And we're very happy with what we meet, because what we did was to make sure that we hand it over to the government, to the school, to take over and make sure that they maintain the sustainability of the project. I would say that as time goes on, we are looking forward to more of how we can make it more sustainable in making sure that the structure doesn't go bad. We actually built the toilet during rainy season. So we've seen what it looks like during rainy season. Now we are in dry season a little bit. We've seen how it looks like again, and we want to make sure that the one we are going to be doing for a couple of years now, because we are going to be building another six in different states across the country. We've already selected the states with the support of the Clean Nigeria Initiative under the Ministry of Water Resources. And because when we did our research based on which state is actually prone to open defecation. And there was a research done by Clean Nigeria Initiative under UNICEF, supported by UNICEF, to identify states that are prone to open defecation. So we selected those states based on that research. But when we look at structure, we are making sure that the structure we are looking at is not only us building the toilet, but for government to also be part of the structure. For instance, we want to build a toilet, we might not have where to get water. We might not have electricity infrastructure to pump the water. So we are looking for government partnership so that this thing can be sustainable. And two areas we are looking at when it comes to the structure is marketplace and schools, because these are the places that people actually go to when they want to make use of toilet, or maybe when they are pressed. We are looking forward to make sure that government take over this structure and be able to make it sustainable in a way whereby in 5-10 years, we'll be able to say that, yes, we've been able to solve the problem of open defecation and take more plastic back from the ocean.
In the fight against plastic pollution, every small action counts. And for Olumide, this is just the beginning.
Green Angle returns in just a moment. Stay with us. Plastic pollution remains an environmental challenge, and research has shown that when these plastics break into tiny bits, they're being ingested by marine animals, which are then consumed by humans. In this next report, we take a look at efforts of reducing plastic pollution through different initiatives.
In communities around the world, a group of passionate activists are sounding the alarm about the devastating impact of plastic waste. Their tireless efforts inspire others to adopt more environmentally friendly practices. Today, we'll meet one of such activists who is making a significant difference in Nigeria. Meet Doyinsola Ogunye, a visionary leader and founder of a recycling scheme that empowers women and youth through the collection, aggregation and recycling of plastic waste.
I've always had a passion ever since 2009 when I actually started recycling in Lagos to empower women and youth using resources like recyclable materials which would have gotten into our waterways, in our drainages and places that should not be. So with Reswaye, we're creating a value system for women and youth. We're creating jobs and we want them to have sustainable wealth through materials like plastic, because that's what's polluting our environment.
Through her initiative called the Recycling Scheme for Women and Youth Empowerment, Doyinsola and her team have already made a significant impact. They have moved nearly 200 tons of plastic waste from waterways saving countless marine species from harm, and provided economic support to more than 3,000 women, giving them a chance at a better future.
Reswaye focuses on empowerment, and we empower people in different ways. We upskill people. So for example, we go to communities where they don't even know how to use the computer. We teach them digital skills so that they can even document the plastic that they are taking out of the community. We teach them how to use plastic as a resource. So we do upskilling and upcycling of plastic with them as well. We teach people how to use plastics to make things they use in their homes, from flower vases, to things you can use in your kitchen and things like that, and even toys for the children. So this way people see recycling and people see upskilling as part of the culture of their home and their living space as well. We don't only do that, we've created a kilo currency where people see plastic and they see value. So every time we scale the plastic, we give you a kilogram, actually a voucher, what you can use to actually get things from our farms, for example, from our supermarkets, for example. So the face value of plastic, you're already seeing currency.
Dedicated to empowering women and promoting sustainable practices, more than 4,000 women from 41 communities have already registered in the buyback program, turning waste into income and embracing sustainable living.
We also have something called the Reswaye Care Kit, where we reach out to women in estates to say, if you give us a particular amount of plastic, for example, if you give us a 10 kg worth of plastic, instead of throwing it in your bin, that plastic can be used to provide sanitary towels, to provide soaps and different care and hygiene materials for people that can't afford it. We're also creating a cooperative where women of similar interests can come together and then bring their plastics to us. And if it's, for example, they want to be able to pay school fees of their children, we're able to do that for them using that platform. So in as much as they are picking plastic, they're also being financially empowered. They understand the basics of accounting and they understand that this is actually a business. So what we've tried to do with Reswaye is to create a holistic system where you are not only seeing the value of plastic, but the environment is being better and women and youth are being empowered as well.
One of the major obstacles in plastic waste management is the absence of societal structures that discourage harmful behaviors towards the environment or encourage protective actions. Doing Solar emphasizes the importance of organizing orientation and awareness campaigns to highlight the long and short-term effects of our treatment of the environment.
I went to a particular village, and in that village, they actually thought that if you take your plastics and you throw it in the ocean, the god of the ocean will clean it up for you. Encouraging them to see a different way that they can use the plastic and they can dispose their plastics other than burying it or throwing it away has been a huge challenge, because what you're doing is you are breaking a paradigm. We're encouraging the community leaders, the bales and the KBACs in the communities to help us reach out to the people in the community so that they can understand that cleanliness is next to godliness as well. So across Lagos State, we also have drop-off centers called recycling banks. Once you are in an area that has a recycling bank, you can bring your recyclables on your way to work, on your way from work, to support what we're doing. We want to expand to at least 100 communities before the end of 2023. We also want to get into other states along the coast as well. We're looking at Ondo State, we're looking at River State as well, to spread the gospel of recycling in coastal communities. There's something we always say in the recycling sector is reduce, reuse, recycle. And I always start with refuse. If you can refuse plastic, be it a straw, be it a plastic bag when you go to the supermarket, if you have an option to choose between a drink in a plastic container or a drink in a can container, always try to refuse it, because it's doing so much harm. You use it once and then it's with us for over 400 years. There are some top plastic materials, the styrofoam, the plastic bags, the straws and things like that. I subscribe to a ban on that. But things that we can recycle, there's a market for that. Things that we can recycle, let's recycle, and let's recycle properly so that it doesn't end up in the ocean.
Through her unwavering dedication, Doyinsola Ogunye is showing the world that a sustainable future is within our grasp. Her work serves as a powerful example of how individual actions can create a ripple effect, inspiring others to join the fight against plastic waste and protect our planet for generations to come.
And that's about it on this week's edition of the program. Until I come your way next time, remember, together we can build a sustainable world. I am Esther Mokwariola. Bye for now.